Hey everybody, Sigil here. We're going to be playing on the Avos server today. It's an East Coast US server. First one on the list alphabetically, so it's easy to find. I was playing previously on the Haven Song server, and I had leveled several characters over on the Haven Song server, but a lot of friends of mine had just recently joined the game, and we found ourselves scattered across various servers, and we decided to all consolidate to Avos, so that's where we are now. Over on Haven Song, I was playing Dredge the Ogre Shaman, and I have a couple videos, Let's Play videos of me playing Dredge. I recreated him here on Avos, and I have leveled him up to level 10. I've captured a lot of that video, and I will provide an update over on that series. But for today, we're going to be playing Sigil, our human monk. Is not logged into game yet, so we're going to get him in game and get him going. I've been wanting to try the monk again. I played a monk up to level 7 over on Haven Song. Really enjoyed it and wanted to get going again on the monk here on Avos. In general, the classes I'm really interested in for this game, because they really interested me back in EverQuest days and classic EverQuest days, which this game is often talked about as the spiritual successor to. I really liked Monk and I really liked Bard. So I wanted to give this a go with the Monk, because Bard's not in game to test yet. So I want to give a good run to the Monk. And like I said, I got him to level 7 before and I thought it was great. So here I'm giving it another try. So right off the bat, you can see we're not starting in a dark cave. It is nighttime, but you can see the stars in the sky. You can see we've got trees and grass and flowers, and we're outdoors, and you can hear the crickets going, and in the daytime you can hear the birds chirping. So a much prettier, nicer start for the humans than for the ogres. Although maybe starting ogres in a cave is a good thing. The cave is good, you know, for for them. Okay, so I've done this whole starting situation thing this is probably my 12th time doing it, gathering up all the quests and running out in the world and adventuring. So I am going to run through it pretty quickly. I am going to try to point out all the things I'm doing and talk about them. If I miss something, I'm sure that you could either ask me a question. If you have one, feel free to send me a message in game. But also, there are a lot of other Let's Plays out there with people starting here in Thronefast. It's the most popular place to start in the game right now. So looking at what we have here in our inventory at the beginning, I start with a shirt, some pants, and some shoes. I start with a torch, which most everybody starts with. I don't have a primary weapon on this character because monks just use their fist. That is my primary weapon. In my inventory here, I've got my first class skill, which is Wandering Fist. So it looks like it deals weapon damage to target, and then it becomes a new ability determined by the open gate. We'll talk about what the gate is, or what the gates are. I don't know that much about it, but you have these little icons down here for Gate of Anger, Peace, Balance, Soul, and Release. I only know anything about Gate of Anger because at level 5 or 4 or 5 or 6 or something like that, you get a new ability for monks that gives you a button kind of right here in the middle that when you press it, it opens the Gate of Anger. And in this case, what Anger does is gives you increased threat generation and reduce damage taken by 30%. So it actually lets you kind of off tank, I guess, or emergency tank if you needed. Now, when you're soloing, it's great because it's just a flat 30% damage reduction for you while you're soloing. So we're going to go ahead and learn that skill. Wandering Fist. And we've got bread, we've got water, and we've got the mysterious letter that everybody starts with at the beginning of the game right now that directs you over towards the center of Avelia to talk to Form and Aldius. And this will get us going on our gathering skills. So we'll go ahead and use that scroll. And then I've got a 110 slot bag. All right, so I learned that first skill, Wandering Fist. So if I open my codex here, I can see Wandering Fist and see more about it. I can see which stats modify it. So I want Strength and Constitution. Here will increase the damage modifier of Wandering Fist. So as I look for gear in the world, I'm going to be looking at the different abilities I have and kind of deciding what stats I'm going to want. If I right click this, it falls onto my bar here. In addition to Wandering Fist, we have our first technique, which is Iron Palm, which deals damage bypassing a portion of the target's armor class. Right on. So you can see the damage modifier for that is also Strength and Con. So those seem to be good stats for us to go for. Now we're not going to be chasing stat gear quite yet. We've got a little bit of leveling to do to get to that point. Again, we have 3 separate sets of bars here. We have our technique bar, so you can only ever have 4 techniques out. Our utility bar, you can only have 6. And then here on the ability bar, you can have up to 8 plus auto attack. Those are our three different bars. All right, so we're going to talk to Grandmaster Koman. He is the monk, the head monk here, and he tells us go up here, and he wants us to talk to Master Sion Gatsu. So Sion's going to give us a quest. It looks like he wants us to kill some hornets. Easy enough. And here we have our monk traits. So this is where we'll come every 5th level to get some stat bonuses, some trait bonuses. And here we have our monk scrolls, and this is where we're going to want to come buy the skills that you can buy from the vendor. You also get skills for raising certain weapon proficiencies or hitting certain levels. You also gain skills that way, but for the ones we buy, this is our guy right here. So our next skill is looking like it is Soul Shuriken, which is we'll get at level 2, and it gives us a ranged attack. The nice thing about this ranged attack is it also reduces the aggro of any mobs near the one that you're targeting. So it helps in the case when a monk is the puller for a group. He can maybe kind of separate mobs if they're if they're far enough apart, or use some trickery there to separate them out. And then we don't get another skill until level 4, which would be another ranged. We get Chi Spear, which is another ranged attack. And then it's level 5, we get Gate of Anger. So that'll give us a new button that will give us that one. And we'll check in on those more as we level up. So as a reminder, the Bind Stone for here in Avelia is at the top of the hill behind the monk trainers. So if you were to come here as one of the evil races, or maybe make a run up from Wild's End, you could come here and bind, and that would be your bind spot. I'm currently bound down there on the steps near the monk trainers, which I think works just fine for me. So I'm not going to rebind. I'll just keep that as my spot for now. So I'm jumping down here. I'm going to talk to Courier Tassel. He has the heavy lift quest. This is a 3-part quest. And I'm going to go ahead and accept it. So he wants me to make a delivery of this heavy package. The delivery is here in town, and the heavy package it weighs 80, and if you look, my maximum weight is 120, which that puts me at already 81% of my maximum weight. But since I'm not carrying anything else and I don't have other bags full of things, this is kind of one of the best times to do this quest because it doesn't put me over my weight. If I go over my weight, I will get a debuff up here that tells me I'm overweight and that it slows my movement, and then we'll be creeping along trying to deliver the package. So I went ahead and grabbed it. And then we're going to move through town here and pick up any other quests we can find. Not all the houses have quests in them. And some I think you will find have quests later on. Like, I believe this guy, later you end up with getting a quest from him or having a quest to take something to him. So that's why I've done this a bunch of times, but I can never remember which ones are there right at the beginning and which ones you kind of gain later as time goes on. So there's only maybe a dozen houses here in town, so I'm just going to hit all of them and make sure I pick up whatever quests they have. We're also making our way towards the well to go ahead and turn in the first quest to Aldius and get started on our collection. Alright, looks like Jazz doesn't have anything for us either. This door here is locked, so we'll skip that one. So here's Foreman Aldius here, and he is the target of our very first quest that we received. If we open this up, we'll see Mysterious Letter. We can turn it in and complete. So what Aldius is going to show us is all about the gathering skills: mining, harvesting, wood cutting, and skinning. As we accept these quests, he's going to give us the tools to do that work. So first, he's going to just tell us about crafting and about our crafting apprenticeship tokens, which I'll talk about in a second. And then we'll go ahead and accept all of these quests, which we'll also look at momentarily, including salvaging, which we can turn in right away and get salvaging tool. Okay, thank you, Aldius. So if we look at our inventory now, we've got all of these gathering tools. We've got a mining pick, harvesting sickle, woodcutter's hatchet, and a skinning knife, and then the crude salvaging tool. When we click on those, we right-click on them, they equip, and if we look on our character sheet here, we have an adventuring tab, which we're in now, but we also have profession tabs. So these items, all of our gathering items, went into our profession tab, and there are some other gear slots we can fill with profession equipment later. Additionally, in this view, you've got the schematics bag. So our crude salvaging tool schematic went into this bag, and as we get into trade skills, all of our schematics will go into this bag also. So there's no way to sort or search within this bag, but you can sort and search, or you can at least search within the actual crafting UI when you're at a crafting station. So it's not quite as bad as it looks trying to keep track of things in here. All right, additionally, with that, so along with talking to Aldius, he gave us our crafting apprenticeship tokens. He gave us 2 crafting apprenticeship tokens. So with these in my inventory, if I talk to a profession trainer, they will offer me the ability to join their profession. In fact, I will show it here with the armor smith that's inside of here. So when I click on the armor smith, she, in parentheses here, says crafting profession, learning armor smithing. So this won't be available if I don't have a token, or if I've already spent them, or if I put it in the bank, for example, and don't have it in my inventory. It's very easy for people to come in here and not realize that this is going to spend one of their profession tokens, and I think it's something that they need to work on in the game. But if I click on this, it actually tells me here, this will turn in an apprenticeship token and make you an apprentice armor smith, which is permanent. And it is permanent. You cannot get your token back. You cannot change it once you have it currently in the game. That's likely subject to change later. But that's the way it is today. So be very careful when you're spending your apprenticeship tokens. We're going to continue on. We'll see the same thing here with the weaponsmith. She's offering to teach us weaponsmithing with crafting profession, and again, it would use one of my tokens. I haven't actually decided which trade skills I'm going to do with this character yet. Doing tailoring, so he can make us the monk armor that comes out of tailoring. So I kind of want to make sure I pick something that's complementary with some of the people I'm going to be playing with. So I think for the moment, I'm going to go ahead and just bank my apprenticeship tokens while I think about what I want to pick up. Now, weaponsmithing is one that is on the list. If nobody else has already picked up weaponsmithing, I may do it, although it seems odd for a monk to be weaponsmithing. One thing I can make are these crude knuckles, so I can make fist weapons, which would be useful to me and maybe useful to some of the other people that I'll be playing with regularly. So weaponsmithing is a possibility. Armor smithing is not likely. There's nothing that I can make that would be good for Sigil in armor smithing, but if everything else is covered, it's not off the table. So Blinn Chapman here will give us the snake scale boots. So we'll be chasing snakes for sure. But I don't think I'll go armor smithing. Likely, another likely candidate is probably carpentry. Because with carpentry, you can make bow staves or fighting staves, and I think that might be a cool option. You can see this guy's got a staff here. I think that might be a cool option for me as well. So here we have the bank. I'm going to go ahead and bank these crafting apprenticeship tokens for the moment, so that every time I talk to a trainer, they're not trying to give me the quest for it. If you haven't seen this bank before, so you have the slots that are here, but you can also put bags or boxes in these slots that will then open up, much like my bag here. So you can actually fill all of these with bags and then have all the slots of all those bags available. You can also deposit money here. So you have quite a bit of room to store things up if you're saving things up for crafting, or you want to save them up to sell them later. You want to store things like the apprenticeship tokens like I just did. You have some room there. And those aren't lost. So the problem with carrying things on yourself is if after level 5, when you die, you leave behind a corpse, and anything that's not actually equipped on your character, so anything that's in your inventory and your money, all stays with your body, and you have to recover your corpse. Now there's a lot of ways you can recover your corpse by finding it. Someone else can drag it for you. Their summoners and necromancers can summon it to them. You can get resurrections. There are a lot of ways to get your corpse back. There's a lot of helpful ways, and there's a lot of helpful people who are out there doing that stuff. But it is a scary thought that you could lose all those things. So every once in a while, at least, you want to come and bank some of that stuff so that you have it available, even if you were to lose your corpse. All right, we can also jump down the well here, and we will talk to this guy, creepy old Lendl. I don't know what he's doing. This isn't much of a well. There's no water. Instead, it's like a secret entrance down here. And Lendl, creepy old Lendl, wants rat tails. Look at, have you ever eaten a rat tail? They're absolutely delicious. You know, Lendl, I'm going to pass, but you know what? If you're going to pay me, I'm going to bring you some. I need that money. I got to get some of that cold hard cash so I can buy me some bags. All right. So there is this door down here, and there's nothing you can do with this door. You can't interact with it, but it's kind of interesting. It makes me think maybe something more is going to be going on there in the future, or maybe if you can come around the other way through that door, if there's some kind of tunnel, maybe it's a one-way thing. I'm not sure, but it is kind of interesting. Go ahead and climb my way back out of here. I think climbing, the climbing mechanic in this game is one of the cooler things that a lot of MMO RPGs don't have, and I think it's really cool. So climbing, you can see it used up my endurance bar, this little yellow bar here that's refilling right now. Climbing uses up endurance, also jumping and sprinting. If you hold down shift, you sprint. You have a limited amount of sprint. All right, we're going to go in the tavern here. We're going to talk to Dorian the treasure hunter, and he's going to talk to us about scavenging. Say, all right. And then that's going to open up, that quick exchange with him is going to open up a few quests for us. So he's asking us for some odds and ends. He wants a paintbrush and then a few other things. So if we look in our log or in our journal and we look under Dorian, he's looking for a rusted longsword, some metal bolts, a handsaw, box for a paintbrush, scrap metal, empty bottle. So just some random things that we'll pick up while we're out adventuring, various camps, killing thugs or killing skeletons, killing goblins, these things. We'll pick up some of this stuff and we'll be able to turn it in as time goes on. I think if we look in our inventory, we've got actually the schematic to make that paintbrush in the scavenger's workbench, and then a burlap bandage pattern from him. So we click on those, and like before, they go over into our schematics bag. All right, no one else in here has any quests for us, so we'll leave that. We're going to take a look over here, talk to Shia. Nope, nothing going on there. And nothing in here. Okay. We're going to make our way up here. We're going behind the tavern here. And we'll talk about what's in these other buildings. There's nothing in this one. The next one we're going to look at, this is the actual cloth armor and leather armor vendors. And inside of here are the leatherworking and tailoring trainers. Now, since I don't have my token with me, they're not offering me the quest to join, but they do have a quest. So Fiona Draster here, the tailor, she would like me to kill some vermin. So she wants me to kill rats, which we're going to be doing anyway because we need the tails for Lendl. Lendl. Creepy old Lendl down in the well. So since we need the tails anyway, we're going to be killing rats. We'll also be able to pick up some tattered hides from the rats, so that will help us with the gathering quests from Aldius over by the well. So Hazel doesn't have any quests for us. All right, we're going to leave out of here and go up the hill. Oh, actually, I went the long way around, but we're going to go up here to this house. So behind the leatherworking and tailoring, and before you get to the ranger trainers, which are over here, is this building. And in here we'll find Annie Ray. So Annie Ray, provisioner. So this is effectively the cooking of this game. So when you talk to Annie, if you have one of your tokens, she will offer to train you in how to be a cook. In this case, we just want the hornet infestation. So she's asking us to kill some hornets, which are going to be plentiful in the areas that we're going. We'll give a little run here, talk to the huntress. So the ranger trainers are over here. I mean, here's their scrolls and their traits. I guess they're here. And this is all kind of the ranger area. Talk to the huntress, and she's going to give us a quest for the night warden, or night warden part 1. So she wants us to kill a young ghost viper, which we're not going to be able to do right away. We're going to need a couple of levels before we can take on a ghost viper, but we'll get there when we start heading down into Boar Valley and stuff like that in a little while, around level 5 or 6 or something like that. We'll take care of this quest. Nice thing about the huntress is she'll give a follow-up quest to hunt down another specific creature and stuff like that. And even if you kill some named creature, sometimes you pick up an item that gives you a quest to bring back to the huntress. So she's a good source of regularly giving you quests and things to go after, to chase after and hunt down. I guess as her name implies, right? Okay, there's something going on with my chat. These big black gaps in my chat. I have this bug sometimes where my auction chat turns black. So you can see it Now you can see those black gaps are actually auction chat. Okay, got that fixed. So we're going to head up to here where the Cleric and Paladin trainers are, up at the top of the hill. We're not so much interested in the Cleric and Paladin trainers, but just show the Cleric trainers are back in there. And the Paladin trainers are over here. But I'm going to talk to Priest Alamar. He's got a couple quests for me. So this first one is to kill cultists, which I will accept. The second one is he's going to teach me scraps of burlap cloth pattern. So he wants me to bring him some jute. So we're going to need jute for the gathering quest. We're going to need jute for this quest. And I'm also going to want to gather up a good amount of jute, maybe 20 to 40 jute, to bring over to my good friend Lavius and get him to create me some monk armor. For now, we're going to jump down. We're going to head over here to the farm. Oh, the tyrannical chicken menace is up. This is hilarious. So we're here at the Ray farm, and there's chickens all around. So these chickens you can attack. They're actually targetable and attackable. In fact, in my playthrough with Dredge, I accidentally right-clicked on one and stabbed it, and ended up having to fight a chicken out here. And they also have a mechanic that they show. So if you kill a bunch of these chickens, you could spawn the tyrannical chicken menace. So he's a kind of a named or special spawn that you get by clearing the area. And that's kind of showing you that can happen in other areas. There's certain groups of mobs that if you fight them, you can get a named mob to spawn and then get something special from it. Now, I've killed the tyrannical chicken menace, and I didn't get anything special from him. So I'm assuming maybe I'll give it another try here. Let's see. Yeah, he's yellow to me, so he might be a tough fight. But I am going to talk to Thaddy Ray and get his Thinning the Wolves quest. I'm going to actually leave the tyrannical chicken menace alone. I haven't fought anything yet, so all my skills are very low. If you look at my adventuring tab and my character sheet, I'm just one of 6 out of all my skills. And then I don't think I have what it takes to fight a yellow spawn. But it cracks me up. I mean, the tyrannical chicken menace. So he will aggro on me. If you look when I con him, he is prepared to attack me, so I'm going to keep my distance. But it's really funny. Oh, he actually aggroed on me. Maybe? Oh, he's coming. Oh, he's coming. Ah! What a great start to my hero here. He's running from a chicken. This is awesome. Oh man, I'm not sure if something funnier could have happened. I'm going to try to leash the tyrannical chicken menace by running back into town here. Unbelievable. What was your first act as a hero, Sigil? I ran away from a chicken. I'm dying. Oh my gosh. Is it following me? I guess it had to take the long way around the farm, and maybe when I ran around the front, it changed directions and had to come around the long way, but you can still see my screen still has the red border, so I am still in combat. Oh, he's coming. There he is. Oh, people are attacking him. Save me. Nice. Oh, I think he reset. Okay. Anyway, let's continue on. So over there by the Ray farm, I'll run back that way. I'll chase the tyrannical chicken menace on his way back. So what happened is I'd run far enough and he was still aggro on me and he leashed, so he's headed home. People were kind of starting to hit him, but he hadn't aggroed on them yet, so he had already reset at that point. So now he's back in there. Someone else can mess with it. But if you're out here by the chicken yard here and by the stables, and you have this quest to turn in, Elroy Flintshaw is right here by the water near the farm. So go ahead and turn into him. And I think this guy has a really cool monk outfit. I'm hoping one day to be half as cool as Elroy Flintshaw. Although, well, I guess it's kind of nighttime or early morning here, so he's probably safe from the sun a little bit. But I'm thinking this guy Alroy, you might want a little sunscreen, buddy. You're kind of pale. And that sun is going to, over the long term, it's really going to cause some damage. So think about a shirt or some sunscreen. All right. But you know what, Alroy? Don't let me, I'm not the boss of you. You do you. All right. What is he looking at out here anyway? Let me climb up. I want to take a look at his view. Okay, that's not terrible. Look at this. We got the bridge over there. We've got the castle. It's a little bit hazy out here in the early morning. But all in all, I see why Alroy's just hanging out, checking out the view. All right. Oh, we got Zora LaBelle. Who's this? He's looking for somebody, but there's no quest there, so I can't do much. All right, so we've picked up a good number of quests here. So we definitely have a couple that are going to aim us towards killing some rats, and then we've got a couple that are aiming us towards killing some hornets. In addition, we're going to want to go ahead and pick up our gathering. We're going to want to gather a little bit of everything for the gathering quest for Aldius. So I think the best plan, I think we're going to make our way over to Wizard Island, or that's what I call it and what several people call it, but the portal that takes you over to where all the casters start, all the non-evil race casters start. And there's a good route. You can take kind of a circular route in that area, and there's a good amount of all the different types of gathering nodes. So we'll be able to get something for each of the gathering quests out there. And the other great thing is there are some goblins, very low level goblin, level 1 goblins. I think they're called forest foragers or something like that. Those goblins drop, since they're humanoids, they can drop armor and weapons, but more importantly right now for us, they can drop 6-slot bags. So those are small bags, but I mean, they're great to get started, and they're free if we can get them as drops. We're going to hunt those guys down and also aim for rats, snakes. Let's see, rats, snakes, hornets, and all the gathering we can get. So I'm going to kind of make my way up the hill and up to the corner here, because those little goblin guys, where I usually see them is mostly kind of up this hill in the northern area of Wizard Island. So I'm going to make my way up that hill. I'm going to gather along the way, and you can kind of see how long gathering takes with these level of tools. I'll explain that real quick. So if we look at our professions tab on our character sheet, you can see our tools here. If I mouse over, you can see it says tool effectiveness 8. So that will continue. What we want are better tools with higher effectiveness. And one of the ways we can get better tools is to do those quests for Aldius. So they actually lead you through, and our next set of tools we would get are going to be at 14 effectiveness. And then beyond that, it's 24. And what that will give us is I don't know if it gives you more when you gather using those tools, but it definitely gathers faster. And that's really a great quality of life thing, to get better tools and gather faster. So we are actually looking for the vegetables, we're looking for potatoes is what the quest wants, but those vegetables can give many different results. So in this case, we had mushrooms from that one. And then here we're going to harvest some wild herbs. Get some goblin weed. So I will chase down snakes as well. They'll be on our agenda to kill, but I really want to get all the way up to the top of this hill. Okay, so you either have the little goblins that I was talking about, the foragers, or you have crumbling skeletons. One of goblins at daytime, skeletons at nighttime. Either way, they're both great to kill. I haven't seen the skeletons have a bag, but skeletons do have money, so they have coins, and the potential to have armor and weapons. So you definitely want to take down skeletons whenever you can. See, I've got some coins and then just some bone fragments. So bone fragments are great for alchemists, and I believe that necromancers also use them to summon their pets. So my friend Lavius, who does the tailoring, he is a necromancer, so I will hang on to those bone fragments and see if that's what he needs. I haven't played a necromancer. It's one of the only ones I haven't played. Necromancer and rogue are the two that I haven't played. So I am not sure what they use to summon their pets, but I think they need something. All right. Here's that forest forager I was talking about. These guys definitely can drop bags. Yeah, we're doing crazy good damage. And I think, so here I'm only punching with my right hand. I think if I put the torch away, I will actually punch, I'll actually dual wield, because go back here again to adventuring and you look, I actually start with the dual wield skill at 1 of 1. Some classes don't get it until later, so it's hard to say if dual wield works for them before that, even though they can actually equip 2 weapons. In my case, both my weapons are my fists, so I'm actually going to unequip the torch and see if I can punch with both hands. So again, I do get some coins from them. Oops. I get some coins and then some junk. So we're going to be up in this area. We're going to be keeping our eyes open for those goblins, chasing down rats, snakes, any kind of resource node that we can collect, and hornets, which hornets will spawn in the daytime just down the hill here a little bit. Usually get bats. Some of these bat spawns are replaced by hornets. Alright, that's some Asherite ore. So I think if we look, that already completed our ore for the Forge quest for Aldius. But we'll go ahead and complete all of them before we go back and turn them in. And likely we'll level up as well so we can buy our level 2 skill. I'm going to head up this way a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and start with this snake. So the path I typically take around here is kind of starting in this corner, and then going out this way and circling all the way around the island. There are likely so many things for us to fight and collect that we won't make it that far. We'll just kind of end up staying in this area at least to level 2 or level 3, and killing over here instead. So we'll get skills we can get skills from the vendor, but we'll also just get some while we're leveling. I know that there is a skill, I can't remember the name of the skill, but there's a skill I got when with my previous monk for using a bow staff for a while, and those will want to make sure that we're checking every once in a while in our codex to make sure we're not missing new skills. They will pop up in the little scrolling text that we get, but sometimes it's easy to miss. You'll see that you get a bunch of experience or you finish a quest, something like that, and then, but it'll also say that you gain this skill. And it's kind of easy to miss, and it doesn't fall into your windows here at all. So your chat windows. But I think it sometimes can be easy to miss. Here I got sprinting skill up 1.01 or 0.1. That's the same spot. It will pop up until you gained a skill. Actually, not going to bother with the herbs right now. My inventory is very limited, so we'll stick with the things we need. The jackrabbits, also a great source of tattered hides if you need them. Again, I'm going to try to focus in on the things I need for the quests, just due to my limited inventory. Now, see, I was just punching with my right fist, now I'm punching with my left fist. But I don't know if I'm punching with my right at all. Oh, that looks cool, the Iron Palm. That's a cool animation. Kind of rose up and did a forge strike with some, there were some graphics around it. Very cool. Yeah, we will ride this out until our inventory's full, or if we make level 2 and finish the 4 quests for Aldius. Whichever one comes first. I see that the Wandering Fist is changing to like a feather icon. We can check out what that... I think it gives us some dodge for a short time. During next combat, I'll mouse over and see what's actually happening. Because the Wandering Fist says it becomes a new ability determined by the current open gate. I don't have any gates open, or unless there's a generic one that's always open right now, because I don't have any of them unlocked yet. So it gives me kind of a basic ability, which I think, if I remember right, is like a 3-second increase in dodge. All right, here we've got a snake. Looking forward to getting that ranged attack at level 2, so I can throw my shuriken at all these. We got another person out here in this area. Competition. So we need snake skins. You get the snake skins on the initial loot, not from skinning. From skinning, you get low quality snake skins. I suppose you probably could get a full snake skin from them if your skinning was high enough. At this level, I'm going to get low quality snake skins from skinning. These tattered, sorry, not low quality, tattered snake skins can be used. You can use them in the tanning bed to actually make leather. So they are still useful. We're going to get this skeleton. Maybe he's got something cool for us. But again, we really want to be on the lookout. And I think this guy's out here doing the same thing. He's looking for the goblins to get some free bags and gear. It's a really cool little starting thing if you can get them. More bone fragments and some money. Go ahead and get blackberries. So for the follow-up quest to the gathering of the potatoes that we need, we're going to need blackberries. So I'll go ahead and get those and have them ready. That's just knowledge from having done it a bunch of times. Hang on to them. There's nothing in the game that tells you you're going to need them, but I have turned in those quests several times now. And we're going to try to get... Oh, there's a skeleton and a goblin up here. We're going to get this skeleton first. He's actually carrying an axe or something, so something we can sell. Hopefully we don't take too much damage, because I want to jump right in. Yeah, rusted axe, more bone fragments, some money. We're going to jump right into this forager here. Hoping for a bag. Alright, so I used it, and it goes to Wandering Wind. For 3 seconds, dodge the next source of incoming physical damage. That's pretty cool. A little mitigation for us. Keep us in the fight. Oh, no bag, but we did get level 2, which is awesome. We're not going to head back yet. We are going to keep seeing. So we need maple logs and tattered pelts. So tattered pelts easy. There's a jute plant. We're going to get that. We need all the jute we can get. That's if we're going to focus on one thing out here, beyond just killing the goblins to try to get bags, getting jute is the thing we need. That's what's going to enable us, well, for one, to finish out some of the quests we have, but two, to get our armor set made once Slavius comes online. I could actually see if he's online now. No, he's not online yet. Wouldn't matter anyway, because I don't have the stuff ready for him, but we're going to throw him a friend invite if he was around. We have more jute, and then I see an ore deposit, and then I see a snake and a rat. So lots of the things we're chasing after all around us here. And again, just kind of scanning. We got another rat right near us, but just kind of scanning, looking for those goblins. So these ore deposits along the edge here, sometimes they were a problem, and I don't know if they've done work to fix it already, but there is a wall, an invisible wall here that you can't go past, because if you fall off here, there's no ground. This is just a floating island out in the middle of nowhere. So there is an invisible wall here, and the wall was actually out too far in some of these areas, and you would have these nodes that were a millimeter in, just a little bit of them were in the wall, and you couldn't actually mine them because they were in the invisible wall. And I think it seems like they might have made a pass to kind of look at those. I know Joppa said in one of his Twitch streams that was something they were looking at, was making a pass on the invisible walls. I don't know if they've done it yet. I don't remember which nodes, if it were these up here or the ones down the hill. But either way, it's something they definitely need to look at some point. I get why the invisible wall's there. I just think it's in too far in some areas. And it needs to be adjusted outward a little bit. It's frustrating looking at those nodes and just seeing them there. And you're like, I can't reach it. But you definitely get guys like me jumping off there and then being like, hey, where's my corpse? You know, and it's nowhere. So this should give us the last of the skinning. So we needed 3 tattered pelts. We've got that. So now we're looking for maple logs, and we're looking for potatoes from wild vegetables. So we're going to keep an eye out from those. Here's a wild vegetables. Let's go ahead and grab that. And we don't need necessarily any more pelts, but we do need rat tails, and we do need to kill 10 rats. So we had the rat tails for Lendl, which we haven't seen a rat tail yet. And we had the vermin. We've only killed 3 out of 10 rats. So we do need to kill some more rats, and we do need rat tails. It's interesting, people are starting to figure out how to do some modifications to what they write in chat. So I've seen some colorful chat come through, and there's some underlines there, so people are finding out some chat trickery, which is kind of neat to see. Right, we'll try the snake. We're going to kind of make a pass down the hill, because I think the wild vegetables are usually down this, more of them are down this hill a little bit. Oh, did not start auto attack. The nice thing with the monk is actually, I think using this ability, this ability here, or one of these two, does start auto attack, but I'm in the habit of hitting auto attack right away from my other characters I've played, and I think I'm turning it off right away. I'm basically, what do we got? Okay, so snake scales, that's the ones we actually need for the quest. Let's see if there's something we can dump that's not, we'll get rid of this silver leaf and grab those snake scales. And we'll run back this way a little bit and look down the hill for some wild vegetables. See, there's the hornets. So the hornets are coming in now. We need those for quest 2. But I'm going to go ahead and grab this ore. If I decide to go weaponsmithing, I'm going to need all this ore. So I'm going to sell off a lot of the stuff that I'm grabbing, but I am going to bank the ore. I'm going to bank any wood in case I go carpentry. I'm going to save the jute to make the armor. Oh, there's a force forger just spawned in right there. Saw somebody else over here. Hopefully we can get to it. We had our upgraded mining pick. We would definitely be in the game for that. Okay. I did leave something on there because I'm out of inventory space, and if we don't get a bag here, it might be worth running down and selling off my stuff. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and run down. So we came in through the portal here, and we just kind of ran up the hill and started going. But if you follow this path around, it actually takes you to where all the casters start. And you can find their vendors over here. So you can sell here to their vendors. Oh, wild vegetables, though. We still want to try to get those potatoes. So there's some vendors out here by this pillar. And then there's some up here for other casters by this tower. And then I think the necromancer trainers are up in this place up here. But all we're going to do is we're just going to run down to that tower. And then we're going to get back out here. So carrots, we actually don't need carrots, so I'm going to leave them. Let's go ahead and sell so we have room. I was hoping to get at least one bag off of those goblins so we could collect a little extra. But that's all right. We actually talk to these guys and just see if anybody has any quests. Here we go. It's just me at the tower leaning. Run up there and check and see if the tower looks straight. Use the tunnel behind us to make your way out. I got an invite to join a guild called Yo Mama. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you, but I'm going to pass. Okay. I actually haven't done this quest before. I'm not sure that I've come out here to talk to all these, or to use the vendors and do all this collecting, but I'm not sure I actually sat and talked to all these guys. So maybe we'll make a round and talk to all these guys real quick. So I'm going to sell off a lot of the things we have here. Like I said, I'm going to hang on to the Asherite ore in case I end up going weaponsmithing. I'm going to hang on to these bone fragments in case that's what Lavius needs for his summoning his pet. Sell the tattered snake skins. We're going to need apples for an upcoming quest, but I'll sell the rat meat. We'll hang on to pelts for now. We need them for the quest. Sell the rat blood. We need snake scales for our quest. We'll need blackberries for a future quest. We want to save the jute. All right, with all that, I did open up 10 slots, so that will let us get back in the game of collecting here. But let's actually, like I said, I'm going to cross the bridge here. I'm going to talk to these other... This is a really cool bridge. You get some sound effects while you're running on it. I'll go ahead and talk to all the characters over here, the NPCs over here, and see if there's any quests that we can pick up from them as well. Nothing from those guys. And I don't think you can do anything here. Yeah, this doesn't go anywhere. Okay. No other quests from those guys. Good to check, though. I am actually going to park right here and take a little break. Probably just a fade out and a fade back in for you guys, but I will be back in a little while. Alright, took a little break, but we're going to get back after it here. We checked all these guys up by the tower, and we checked these guys over here, and there were no quests. Well, there was one quest, but no others. Cleared out our inventory, or at least our bag, so we have our 10 slots. And we're going to go back to chasing some of the things we need for our quest. So we do need maple logs. I believe it's maple logs. Yep, 3 maple logs. We'll work on this one here. We'll get that snake here in a second too, because we still need the snake scales. Flame lilies we'll need later on. We'll also get a quest to pick up some moon lilies. The moon lilies spawn in the same spot as the flame lilies, just one during the day and one at night. Flame lilies are during the day. Moon lilies are at night. So you can see we finished another quest here. Once we get all 4 of these done, so all we need are the potatoes. Once we get all 4 of these done, we'll run back and get our level 2, our new level 2 ability. Oh, sweet, another snake scale. Sometimes when you're playing, you can go so many without getting snake scales, and I've said it before, but this game does a pretty good job of giving you a good balance of quests that are either go kill a number of things, which I like way better than go get these loots from things, which then they suddenly don't have them. Snakes don't have skins, rats don't have tails. You know, I'm not sure how that works, but it's pretty much a staple of MMORPGs at this point. So I get it. They want you to spend more time playing. Speaking of rat tails, though, we do need some, so we will take on a rat here. Yeah, see, I can see I logged in here. I logged out, took a break, and logged back in. And you can see here my chat went back to the blacking out all of the auction chat. I'm assuming it's the auction chat. Yeah. I'm not sure why that's happening. I've never set that chat to black, and this hasn't happened on many of my characters, but it has happened a couple of times. You know, it's alpha things, or I guess early access things. I would pretty safely, I think you could pretty safely say that this game is in alpha access. Not so much early access. There are some interesting buggy things out there. But it is still fun, and I'm having a blast playing this game. I had just a few months back found myself back into Classic EverQuest through the Project Quorum server. If you look on my channel, you can see my role-playing videos that are still ongoing in Project Quorum, and I'm still working on those. But this scratches that same itch and adds even more, you know, new additional functionality without breaking whatever the math is, the calculus that makes it entertaining and makes it challenging and draws me back in time after time to play it. And what drew me back into Classic EverQuest and even Classic WoW to an extent, I think it's something about the pacing, it's something about the challenge, the difficulty, the consequences. That they're not so terrible, but they are bad. It's bad to die. There's a downside to dying after level 5 anyway, and there's something there with all of that that just creates this experience that is exactly what I crave in an MMORPG. Now, it's not necessarily what I crave in other game types, but I think that kind of difficulty and that kind of challenge in an MMORPG actually starts to drive your community to work together more. You know, people are willing to help you with a corpse recovery or a corpse summon or a resurrection because they understand how difficult that situation is. They know the predicament that you are in if you can't get your corpse back, and they've lived that, and they're willing to help. So it starts to create helpful people for those kind of things. They know you can only have 2 of the trade skills. You can't be the guy that has all of the trade skills in the game. So with only 2, you have to reach out to your community and you have to start making deals. Hey, I'll do some tailoring for you if you do some leather working for me, and everybody's open to it because they understand that that's what is needed to get the things they want and to keep the game moving. Same with grouping. When grouping is the way to play the game, or is a big part of playing the game, then you'll find that everybody is okay with grouping, right? When it's not required, but it's something you want to do, but not everybody else wants to do it, you start to run into these, some people want to be there, some people don't want to be there, or they feel like they're being forced to play just that little piece of the game. But if the whole game is based around these systems and these challenges and these level of difficulty, then the players that you're going to have that play the game all understand that, and they know what they're getting into, and they're signing up for that social sandbox game that this is. And I really, really can't say enough how much I am enjoying that type of game. Oh, yeah. I think I got like a crit in there because I smacked the crap out of that guy. Oh, I gotta watch my health. I'll end up continuously fighting myself right into the grave. I have a recipe fragment. So for cooking or for provisioning, you get these recipe fragments. You also get some for alchemy, and they'll give kind of part of a recipe, and it kind of gives you a clue. If you put those things in and then you experiment with some other ingredients, you might come up with something good. Hey, we got a bag. Awesome. That's what I've been waiting for. You can get these 6-slot bags here, and they're just free for killing something that's also giving you experience and also giving you coins and other resources. So it's great if you can get up here and hunt these forager guys. There are some down in like the newbie yard area near the monks, but I just find there's 3 or 4. Maybe there's another one out there. So there's like maybe even as many as 6 spawn points up in this northern hill area of Wizard Island, and it is phenomenal for getting a few bags to start you off before when you're waiting on getting some money, or you're working on getting some money, and you want to keep a lot of your, or at least some of your gathered resources for your trade skills. You don't want to sell everything. Oh, extra flask of water. I don't think we talked about food and water yet. I can talk about it real quick. So we have these meters here right above our name on our nameplate. You can see a little piece of bread and some water. So we do have hunger and thirst. So these are ticking down slowly. And we did start with some food and water. And when these get low, we can go ahead and just click on those and eat them. It's instantaneous to click and eat them, and they will refill the bar. The starter food and water has lasted me all the way to level 10 on Dredge, and I did do some cooking, so I did eat some other food. So somewhere around level 10, I think you may start running out of the starter food and water, but it does last for quite a while, and it does fill up a lot of the bar. I couldn't tell for sure, and this is maybe anecdotal, but it seemed like the higher level I got, as my level got farther and farther away from that starting level water, it filled up less of my bar. So I think there may be something that drives you towards wanting to have better and better food and drink. But you can buy the basic food and water from vendors in town. But also you can get the better, higher level food and drink from players who are doing the provisioning. Okay, here we go. Perfect example. To finish my sentence, you can get higher level food and water from people who are doing the provisioning trade skill and are working their way through that, and you'll see some of that. There's food that gives buffs, or food and drink that gives buffs, as well as filling your thirst and hunger bar, and it's quite a well done system overall. So I was talking earlier about trying to mine along the edge here and how there's an invisible wall, and here I'm hitting that wall. So there's a need for this wall, but I think it can move out, out towards the edge here, so you can't run off the edge. But right now I can't even target that Asherite ore. And if it's the same as before, there's one around the corner and down the hill a little bit that you can get right up to where you're touching it. But since it's in the wall, you can't actually mine it, which feels super frustrating when you see it. But it's, again, I said earlier, alpha things or early access things, that's already been acknowledged and already on their list to go work on. So nothing more we can do with it there. It'll get there. The team will get to it, and they'll adjust that wall to where it needs to be, to both protect us dummies as well as allow us to still mine those nodes along the edge. So it's not anything to worry about, but it's, you know, when you see it, it's a little bit frustrating. So we're actually getting a good number of, there was another jute plant over here. We've got another goblin over here. So with us being the only ones that appear to be right in this area at the moment anyway, we're getting pretty good access to all the resources and things that we need to be collecting. So we're gonna milk this out a little bit, maybe even make level 3 before we ever head back. Although it will be nice to get that ranged. Just another move that I could use during combat as well as a ranged attack. I don't want to wait too long on getting that, but I don't want to rush back right away. I love their death animation. Meow. It's funny. Alright, we're still looking for rat tails and killing rats. We'll grab this guy. Then I'm going to run back up and see if that jute is still up there. How are we looking on jute? Yep, we're at 16. I want to say it's going to take 30 or 40. Oh, we actually got a rat tail for Lendl, that creepy guy. You know, he said they're delicious. Thinking I'm wanting like 30 or 40 of those of jute, 30 or 40 jute to make my whole outfit. I can't remember how many it actually takes, but it feels like it's 2 jute to make a leather, I think, and then it's 2 to 3 leather per slot. So yeah, I think that's going to be about right. But what I'll do is when I do run into Lavius, I'll have him go ahead and make whatever he can make with the resources that I have at the time. None of us are far enough along. None of the friends that I have are far enough along to do any kind of major twinking or anything like that where we can really pass down a lot of gear. But I'm not opposed to passing around gear between all of us. So if they come across something that'd be awesome for Sigil, I'm fine with taking it for Sigil and continuing on with my playthrough. Maybe someday I'll look at doing a true kind of self-found type of playthrough where I don't take any gifts or anything like that. But for now, we're all learning the game and we all want to try out all the cool stuff. So I have no problem with sharing things that I get amongst my friend group, as well as taking their handouts or even handouts from other people. I've had people give me bags and stuff like that. It's a pretty good community so far. All right, I think there was a jute over here that I want to try to get. Nobody's grabbed it. Yeah, it's still there. And another goblin. Well, I'm gonna get the goblin first. Really want shots at a couple more bags if possible. Having played this just a little while, at low levels, I know where a lot of the low level stuff is, and I see so many of the same questions come through the chat asking where NPCs are and where certain things are and how do I do XYZ, that I was getting to the point where I was just going to make a series of macros on Dredge that just answer those questions. So like even answer a question and then wait 2 seconds and then send the next question that always comes in. But it's great. People are coming in, people are asking questions, people are trying to figure things out. So it's been really good. There's another hornet. I believe we still need hornets. Double check. Yep, hornet infestation. Oh yeah, we haven't even killed any, or we killed one. There's a few hornets up over here. We'll spend a little time on that. So vegetables, we still need potatoes. There have been times where I've gotten 15 potatoes in the first few of these that I've opened. Not all in one, but I've opened 3 or 4 of them, end up with a dozen or 15 potatoes. And other times I've opened 20 of these things and not gotten potatoes. It's very, very random. You'll even see people sometimes buying potatoes to just try to finish this quest. Because unlike the other collection items where you're collecting maple wood from the maple tree, or you're collecting, hides from something you can skin, you can't guarantee that you're going to get. Oh, hey, level 3, awesome. You can't guarantee that you're going to get the potatoes, because there's a random loot table for those wild vegetables. All right, I want to get the, try to at least get the kill the rats quest and kill the hornets quest done if we can. If we don't get the hornets done here, then when we run over by the Monks Guild, there's a spot really close to the Monks Guild that's just crawling with hornets, and I could easily finish it out there. Oh, we got another goblin out there. Just right by the big rock. I want to say we've only got the one rat tail though. Yep, just the one so far. We are full inventory again too. Alright, we got two goblins. We got one over here, one over here. Knock those out real quick. And then I think we're going to go ahead and go back. We'll go back to the Monks Guild. We will get our new attack. We'll empty our inventory and we'll turn in the collection quests that we do have. This looks like it's one of the runs where we're going to have to keep digging for potatoes. Hey, another bag. Awesome. So we're not overloaded again, or not full inventory again. It's feeling pretty strong though for the stuff that initially was a big challenge and kind of ran my health down pretty low. I'm feeling now like I'm just ripping through it. Of course, I'm a couple levels higher now. I'm not level 1 anymore. I'm level 3, but it's still already feeling strong. I'll have to be careful though, because I have a tendency to stop watching my health. Oh. We learned something. Apparently chat learned how to make bigger chat. Just like they were learning the underlines and the colors and these other things. I think there are some HTML commands that work in chat, and that is, people are experimenting with it and figuring it out. I think that's going to be one that probably gets removed. I don't imagine they want giant spam chat going on. Again, alpha things. All right, we're going to grab these blackberries. I thought there was another goblin up here, but maybe someone got him. Or he wandered farther than I thought. There he is. I must have totally missed him when I ran down this way. Yeah, I want to go back, but I also don't want to miss out on trying to kill these goblins, so... Oh! Oh, I thought he killed me. I was like, wait, my health's full. He just knocked me down. He did an attack that knocked me on the ground. If that's the noise I'm going to make when I do feign death later, that I am amused. That was a great death noise. Patched cloth hood. This is what I was saying. They have a chance to drop some armor. That went into my bag. I'm going to put that on. And I'll grab the rest of the stuff. That should give me visible hood. It is... it's great. Like, it clips into my beard on that side. It's ugly, yeah. It's exactly what you'd expect from newbie gear that drops off a goblin. It's not great. But we had no helm slot before, and now we do. One step closer to ultimate power. Alright, here we go. Another hornet. Grabbing on my way back. So to go back to the Monks Guild, we are going to use the /stuck command to return to our bind point. Obviously that won't be something that's in the game later, but for our early access, we have the ability to type /stuck, return to bind point, gets us out of actual stuck situations. A lot of people are not a lot, basically everybody's also using it as kind of a, what would be in World of Warcraft would be a Hearthstone. There's a 5-minute cooldown on it, and it's already been confirmed that it's not exploiting or anything like that. We're free to use it as we will. And it lets us move around a little bit faster. So I'm going to use it real quick. and it will pop me back out to my bind point here on the steps of the Monk Guild. I'm going to talk to Master Sion. He asked me to kill some wasps, and I killed enough for him. And he's going to give me 75 copper, which is awesome. Again, but with more power this time. Great. I don't think he doesn't have another quest. And then I'm going to talk to Monk Scrolls, or the Monk Scroll vendor. And I'm going to grab Soul Shuriken. And I'm going to go ahead and empty out some inventory. Let's see, I'm going to keep the ash. I think this was all the stuff I was keeping over here. I will keep the maple logs for the quest. I'll also go ahead and sell some of these things off. Just gonna... maybe I'll bank that recipe fragment in case I decide to do cooking. These for Lendl. Okay. And then I can go ahead and use my Soul Shuriken. Scroll. And grab it out of my codex. That drops into my number 2 slot here. Manifest your chi into an ethereal shuriken, dealing nature damage to the target. Successful hit lowers the target's assist radius by 25% for 5 seconds. That's going to be great for pulling. All right, from here, let's see. We want to go back into the center of town and at least turn in the quests that we do have done for Aldius. And then we also finished the Jute for Priest Alamar. So while we're here, we're going to turn in all these quests. I'm going to double check while I'm in town. Let's see if Lavius is on. Okay. Oh, actually, was I in the looking for group instead of who? All right, he's not on. I can get a hold of him and ask him to jump on at some point to help make some armor. But I think maybe I'll try to get a full stack of 30 of the jute before I ask him to come in and make me anything. All right, so we completed the mining quest, the first mining quest. He's going to give us some money. And we get a follow-up. In the follow-up, we're looking for coal, 5 lumps of coal, which we can get from mining any node. So we'll be working on that, or any of the newbie level nodes. So we'll probably go back out to Mage Island and keep going for another level. Work on that. We did the wood cutting, more money, and the follow-up to that is fresh apples. So I was saving apples towards this, but we'll start looking for apple trees to chop down instead of maple trees. And then skinning, we got the tattered hides, and the follow-up is going to be 5 fresh cuts of boar meat. So we'll go down to where the boars spawn in a while, probably level 5 or 6, but for now we're going to just accept the quest and be ready to go. I'm going to swing by the bank and drop a couple things off. Apples are for the current quest. Just for weight concerns, I'll drop off the jute that I have and the Asherite ore because I'm going to use those later for crafting. Blackberries is one of my current quests. We'll drop off tattered pelts. I think the rest of these are from current quests. Drop this in here for later. And we'll hang on to our maple log. All right, just give me a little more room in my weight restrictions. And I'm going to run up to where the clerics and paladins are and go ahead and turn in that quest to Priest Alamar. And then we're just going to turn around and go right back out there to the Wizard Island and keep working our way through. You can see it's great experience. We'll quickly make level 4 here off of that while we're also working our way through all the gathering quests and a few of the other quests. We'll continue working on Hornets, so we have 5 of them done. We'll work on... Oh, we only needed 1 more rat. I could have killed 1 more rat before we came back, but we'll work on that. We'll also keep trying to get rat tails from Lendl. We've only got the 1, and we'll keep trying to get snake scale. So still many quests, or not many, but what, half a dozen quests out there that we can continue making progress on. Maybe 6 or 7. And quests aren't huge amount of experience necessarily in this game, but what they are is a good amount of money. Oh, I just outthought myself. I put my jute in the bank, and it doesn't pull from the bank for quests. So, got to run back to the bank and grab enough jute to get that quest done. What was it? So I need to grab 6 jute out of my stack in the bank. That'll happen. Might be interesting if quests could see what's in your bank and just pull from there, but yeah, that's fine. That was on me. If I just grab 6 and toss them in my bag. Okay, now we'll go up there and give this a shot. Running all the way back up. So maybe at 4 or 5, somewhere around there, we're going to look for a thugs group. And in the thugs group, we can get some of the stuff we need for the treasure hunter quests here. As well as thugs are some of the first mobs we can fight that actually have some gear drops. They're low-level gear drops, but they do have a stat here and there. So it might behoove us to get in one of those groups and see if we can pick up some of that. If nothing else, it's just cool to kind of connect with people. Maybe I'll get the chance to start trying out some pulling and stuff like that. Now we can turn in field dressing, and he will give us a scraps of burlap cloth pattern. I think I couldn't say that last time I tried to say it either. And a new quest here, Tools of Mending. Just talking about the scavenger and the workbench and fashion a bandage. Okay. So he didn't take our jute, gave us a new recipe to use in the scavenging bench, and asked us to make some bandages. Bandages are nice. Not only can you use them to heal yourself up, but if let's say you find someone who's in a downed state and you're not a class that has a heal spell, you can use bandages to heal them up enough to stabilize them. If they're in that state between full health, or alive and healthy and dead, they go into a down state where they can crawl around a little bit. You can save them. So the scavenger workbench is right over here in front of the armor or the blacksmith's guild. So he gave us a burlap bandage pattern that needs scraps of burlap cloth, and that takes jute fibers. So we need 2 of those, and it takes 1 fiber per. So we're going to make 2. We're not going to make extra because I want to save all the jute we can towards our armor. There we go. We can hit this, and we should see the quest complete down here. There it was. Tools of Mending is complete. Ready for turn in. And we should also have a bandage in our inventory. Make one more run up there, and then from there unless he gives us something else we can do quickly, we'll bounce back out to Wizard Island. Keep working. Actually, I haven't even left that one little area in Wizard Island. Usually there's a big circular route you can make there that has a lot of options and has some mage hunter humanoid mobs and some of the little wolf mobs that you can do start the wolf quest on, and maybe we'll try to make our way a little further around the island. But since there was no one else in that area and I was able to just keep killing all of those goblins, it was really worth it just to stay there. Right, Tools of Mending, we get some experience for this one. Some of them don't give experience, but we get some. And that's all he has for us for now. Awesome. We are going to then head towards Wizard Island. I'm going to take a 2-minute break right here to just be a quick fade out for you guys. I got dogs that need me to do dog things. Be right back. All right, I'm back. Let's head out there to Wizard's Island. Unfortunately, we can't just teleport back. Well, wait a minute, we're going to the teleporter to teleport back, but we can't just teleport the way that we did it to get here. All right, had another little dog issue to handle there. I wanted to just climb up right here and make it easier, but it's taking longer than I thought. Apparently that's not a good spot to get a handhold. My dogs seem indecisive tonight on which room that they want to be laying down in. Wandering the house and being a menace. Sometimes you can see right along this path right here, there's several jute spawns along here too. It's kind of a good place if you're running by to do something else. You can usually stop there and get 2 or 3 if nobody's around. Obviously it's really busy here tonight. Saturday night, everybody's gaming. Everybody's going to be gaming is gaming. Beer goggles. Back through the teleporter. All right, we are going to go back up this way and just check for more of those goblins, but I am going to start working my way around the island so that we can see a little bit more of it this time. But first I do see this yellow jacket here. Oh, that's right, I have my ranged shuriken. We want to see what that's all about. Grab a flame lily. What are we after now? So rat tails, wolves, snakes. We can figure out this leaning tower quest. View the tower from the cliff to confirm it's leaning. So we'll do that. Hornets, we need a few more. Rats, we need 1 more. Okay. Well, rats, we still need a bunch because we need rat tails, but we need 1 more for that particular quest. We're going to head up the hill. So it wants us to look at the tower from that cliff up there. We have a couple ways to get there, but... Oh, we need rats. Get this guy. What would an MMORPG be without getting out there and killing some rats at low level? Rats and skeletons, right? It's all about. It will be interesting when they get the other starting zones in the game for the races that don't currently have them. So the dwarves are going to have their own city and starting zone. The ogres, the dark mirror, they're all going to have their own areas. It'd be really cool to see how those, what the lore is around those and what goes on in those areas and the different. Maybe you have different types of mobs because here. I've been through this several times now, and it's the same snakes and rats and skeletons, and maybe it will be in those starting zones too, but it'd be interesting to see if there's some variety out there. All right, another snake scale. We're actually getting pretty lucky with those. I think we have 4. Yeah, 4 of the 5 we need, which is better than I generally tend to do. All right, we've got a goblin over there, and we've got a guy out there killing. So if I finish the skinning fast enough, I can get to that goblin first. I'll hit him with my new ranged shuriken attack. He's mine. Let's hope for another bag. Oh, and there's an apple tree. We need apple trees as well. No bag, but there's another rat right next to us. Okay, then. Almost surprising how fast this is going. I'm going to be at level 4 here and before you even know it. And that's when we get our next ability, which is another ranged attack. Our chi spear or something like that is it's pretty cool looking. And that'll happen at 4. We're not far from that at all right now. Let's get this apple tree. And then I'll show something new. I'll go all the way around the other side of the island. I'll make my way up to the top of the cliff to look down on the tower. And we'll be a little more selective about what all we kill. I think we're okay with these 2 bags for the moment. And we'll get some more 10 slaughters made pretty soon. we're building up a little bit of a stash of money so we can afford some things. Oh, the first time that happened with that death noise, that scared the hell out of me, but it's really funny. It's a much different fall down sound than the ogre does. I mean, I said we were fine with bags, but I would have taken another bag if you had one. We are going to keep going on the rats. You definitely level faster if you decided not to skin all of these things. I think at the moment I'm still looking to just build up resources overall on my character and on my characters across all of them in general. So anything that I can get, anything that I can gather or collect is going to be good for that, right? I can sell them, I can trade them. It gives me some currency to work with. So for now, I'm not ready to really let that go yet. And the goal will be more to get faster skinning tools so that I'm not spending so much time just skinning in between killing mobs. Not everything's skinnable, so there's also a lot we can aim for that's not skinnable, but right now we do need to kill a bunch of rats to get tails, so I'm going to keep fighting these guys, and I will be skinning them. There's another flame lily up there, and then we'll curve around here and down the hill. Start to look at some areas we haven't been to yet with this character. That might be jute over there. I can't quite see the nameplate. That's jute. We're going to get that first. Oh, it's herbs. Okay, we'll go here then. Oh, another rat tail. Cool. Not cool from the standpoint that they're delicious, like Lendl seems to think, but just cool because I want to finish the quest. Delicious rat tails. And here we're going to want apples. Okay. We finished out the vermin quest. We got all the rats that we needed. But we're still going to be chasing rats because we need all the rats we needed for that quest, but we're still going to be chasing rats because we need the tails. We're just going to kind of collect all these nodes right here. That's pretty crazy. Everybody has kind of steadied out on characters. There were so many people starting new characters every day. Not just new players, but people just trying out a different class or something. That this place has always been packed at prime time for me. And right now, it's actually looking way tamer for being able to get things done up here. So I know the servers are still very full, so that just means people have moved on to that next level, next set of levels. So you can see more groups looking for, level 16 looking for group, looking for 7 to 10 instead of here in the newbie area. I'm gonna check there for a few friends being online here in a second. I don't know if I can get to this or... Okay, so this one I can reach. But that other one sticking out about, the same distance from the wall I couldn't reach. While I'm mining that, let me check. Oh, I need to tell it to show any zone. Because some of these guys are in Wild's End, and the Who tool, or what do they actually call this window? The social window only shows the zone I'm in, which is Thrown Fast. So if I want to see people outside of Thrown Fast, I actually have to go to the filter and include players in any zone. So no matter where they are, I can find them, and then I can search for... Okay, friend check done. Another rat. Your mama was a rat. I mean, probably. So we won't see... I don't think I've ever seen those goblins like down in this area when I'm running through. They may be up on the other side, can't remember if I've seen them up there, but there are some other humanoids up there too. I don't know if they actually drop bags or anything like that, but a lot of the humanoid mobs, almost all of them, have a chance to drop some kind of equipment, whether it's weapons or armor, and they all drop coins. So always worth killing the humanoid, the evil bad guy humanoid mobs. So maybe I should come up with some principles that Sigil stands for. Some habits. Nice thing is, if you do what I just did and you sit all the way through that timer and then you accidentally move, you can still just reloot this. Afterwards, you don't have to go through the gathering exercise again. Put that. Did we get any more tails yet? Still just 2. Such a rare, weirdly rare thing. Yeah, look at this. This is level 4. 2.5 bubbles away. Not even 2.5. Less than 25% left of the level. It's gonna happen so fast. And it's no faster than the first time I did it. I think I'm just more efficient at this point, so it feels like it goes by so fast. Because I know where I want to, exactly what quests, or not exactly what quests, but I know where to pick up all the quests. I know some of them exactly where to turn them in, and then I know where to go to get the things to turn them in. So I'm just doing it enough times, I'm getting more efficient. And we are going to hit a level, even level 8 to 10 even. There's so many things I haven't done at those levels that, yet I've only been through them the one time. Oh, there's another goblin up there. Awesome. I've only been through it the one time with Dredge so far. That's where it's going to really get into the new stuff that I haven't seen, and we're going to be learning it together. Like I talked about, even for the monk, the different gates. Like I've only ever seen Gate of Anger, so I don't even know what these other things do. And I actually don't even remember, while Gate of Anger is active, what Wandering Fist does, because it says it changes based on active gate. So is it some kind of threat punch, or I'll have to look. I'm not sure. Okay, this guy got the goblin, but interesting that they are out that far. I hadn't seen him before. Oh, is he in trouble? He might be in trouble. Oh, he got it. Good. You know what? I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to skin the snake. I'm going to get the jute. I'm more interested in the jute, and I'm worried that he's going to run up and grab it. So first guy to the jute wins. My super cool hood helmet. More jute, and then I'll run back and skin this guy. There we go. Maximize my efforts. Oh, you know what? I actually think I'm on Shard 1 for Avos on this run. And those guys might actually be on Shard 0. That could be the problem. I might shoot them. Well, like I said, let me get to... I'll get up to 30, and then I'll shoot them a message in Discord. Try to drag them in here with me. Get some crafting done. The punches sound awesome. Like a barroom brawl with a rat. So that ore deposit, I'm sure if you saw me try to run towards it, I think it was buried in the invisible wall. Not gonna talk about it every time, but you can see I can't get over there. So I had said earlier maybe they had made a pass at working on that. It looks like they haven't yet, but again, it's on the list. They've called it out as something that they definitely want to work on. So I'm not gonna really bring it up again. If you see me running up against the edge of the wall and I can't reach something, you know what's going on. You know what's up. So here you can see we're circling around now away from the portal. Before we went up the hill over here, but we're circling around this way. We want to get up to that hilltop to do that quest with is the tower straight. So we are going to make a long circle up that way, and along the way we'll grab the things we need and things we want. These toads are pretty cool. If you hit the toads from range, they'll start casting an ability, and it grabs you with their tongue and pulls you into them. The first time I did it, I thought I charged somehow on my my Dire Lord. My first character was a Dire Lord. I thought I charged them, and I sat there for a minute, stunned, like what just happened. And then I realized this guy just is doing his sticky tongue. And I could jump right over there. Oh, that's some kind of pop up on my computer. There we go. Fixed it. So these toads they're fairly easy to kill, and they're just another thing you can skin. I'm actually not going to hunt the toads. I just want to do that one to see him pull me in with his tongue. But I'm not going to bother with them. I don't have any quests for them right now. So if I was out here just looking for, leather or hides, these would be a good source of the tattered pelts. But that's not what I'm doing right now. And in fact, this character is not going to be doing leather working, so I'm likely to not go out of my way for them unless it's on something that I'm already killing, like the rats. So let's give this Asherite Aura a try, I'm guessing. Yeah. Okay. This one we can get. Maybe. There it is. Looks like the sun is going down. The world is turning a nice golden color, and there's the castle from earlier. We can see it down there. Right. There are some things we can collect down here as well. And I think there's this area over here is kind of a hornet nest also. You can find quite a few hornets over here. So it could be a good place to wrap up the hornet quest that we have. We need 2 more. So if we can run into 2 hornets here, we'll knock that out. Silver Drake's putting the work in on the hornet right now. Taking a seat. Probably wishes he had a really cool hood like I have here. It's alright. It's alright, Silver Drake. You'll get some armor. Get some armor, buddy. And here's our last hornet. Just to clear out the hornet quest. Alright. Let's try this one. Hey, cool. Another blackberry bush. It's going to go up this hill, and it's going to curve around to the side. I mean, next kill, we're making level 4 already. So we'll want to be headed back to get that other ability. I think we'll finish the route before we head back to pick up that last ability. We're not. It's not like we're hurting for... It's not like we're having a hard time killing anything out here, so I think we're fine to leave that for the moment. Oh. Oh. Okay. I found water. Alpha things. Is there an angle I can actually collect this thing, or is it in the water? Will my swimming go up if I stay in here? Oh, it does. I'm getting swimming skill in midair. Okay, I'm giving up on that blackberry bush. I don't know if there is an angle I could come at it from to actually gather it, but I am not seeing it very quickly, and it's not important enough to me to keep struggling. So you can see it's nighttime is starting. You can see the moon coming up here. The sun's going down on that side, and you can see the nameplates. Oh, there we go. Level 4. Awesome. You can see the nameplates starting to fade out because at night the nameplates are harder to see without a light source. So you can see how it's faded out a little bit. So I'm gonna have to throw the torch back in my offhand here so we can get some visibility, because night's gonna happen real fast. And there's a transition where the sun is low and the moon is low, and it gets real dark. And then as the moon rises higher into the sky, you start to see it lighten up a little bit. Actually, up here on the Wizard Island, maybe we won't get that because there's no mountains blocking. we might just get the kind of clear night sky, which is cool. But if you're down in one of the valleys and the sun is going down on one side and the moon is low on the other side, it is dark. So like here, I couldn't even see that guy's nameplate without some kind of light. So I am going to go ahead and put the torch in my offhand. Now I can see the nameplates. Oh, and I would have missed a snake. So you can see the towers all lit up. It's pretty cool. This guy's a necromancer. Made his way out of the dark cave. You can also come up this way. There's usually some mining nodes along here. Some gathering nodes. But we are going to head up the hill. And continue on around. There we go, another mining node. Let me take stock. I looked before, but what are we looking for at this point? So, rat tails, we still need more. That's a hard one to finish. We need one more snake scale. Leaning tower. We need boar meat, which we're not going to get out here. We need apples, 2 more, which we can get out here. We still need the potatoes for the wild vegetables, which we can get out here. And lumps of coal, which have a chance to drop out here, but we have not been lucky with that. I think on the higher level mining nodes, we'll have a better chance of picking those up. I'm gonna run over. I'm gonna pick up that node, and I think I'm gonna log out right here and take a little break. So this will be a good spot to pause. And again, for you guys, either this will be the actual end of this video, of the first video in this series, or if I want to run it a little bit longer, it might just be a fade out, come back for everybody else, and just be a break for me. But we'll continue up and around the curve here. That'll get us up on top of that ridge to look down in the tower. And we'll collect along the way. There's more mining nodes up here. We'll see some of those wild vegetables that we need to get the potatoes. For now, we're going to take this beautiful view of the tower. And we're going to have a seat and log out. Hey everyone, Sigil here. Hope you enjoyed the video. There'll be a lot more coming. If you like what you see and you want to be alerted when the next one comes out, go ahead and face roll all of those YouTube buttons, and I'll talk to you next time. And as always, thanks for watching.
Hit the start, no looking back. Controllers in hand on the right track. We're streaming dreams, making worlds collide. 1,000 voices cheering worldwide.